What's going on, winners? It's your boy Loso 2.0, and today we're going to talk about Nelson Mandela. Now, before we get started with that, I need you to click that subscribe button below if you're watching this on YouTube and subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you're listening to this on any type of podcast platform, please click that 5-star review below. But yes, we're going to talk about Nelson Mandela. See, Nelson Mandela won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. That's definitely something that I'm looking forward myself to even accomplishing. He was also the first black president of South Africa, which I thought that was pretty interesting, which I'm not just going to be throwing out facts this whole time. But Mandela wore many hats in his fight for peace. He was another black leader that was on his fight for peace. You're kind of seeing a little bit of a trend here, right? Always black leaders trying to fight for some type of freedom or peace. This was an interesting black leader for me to study because I never knew what he was famous for. I've heard the name before prior, like plenty of times, but I just never knew what Nelson Mandela was famous for. Actually, if you want me to be honest, the first time I heard his name was actually on Rush Hour. And if you don't know what Rush Hour is, I mean, that's crazy. But Rush Hour is the Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan. Man, I love watching the movie. I probably watched it like 1,000 times. One of those series that I constantly watch over and over again. But it was about basically black person, Chinese person coming together, solving crimes. They had a lot of racial jokes in it or whatever. But I remember he was rolling dice at the casino and he goes, "This is for Nelson Mandela." And then he just, rolled the dice down when he was trying to basically distract everyone. So that begged the question to me, who is Nelson Mandela? See, he negotiated South Africa's system of racial segregation and changed it to majority rule. So South Africa also went through a point, just as America, where they were racially segregated. And he changed it to now majority rule, voting, all that good stuff. Apartheid was the name of the system. So the system's actual name was apartheid. Apartheid, it was a political culture which ensured that, South Africa was dominated politically, socially, and economically by the nation's minority, which was actually the white population. So it was a culture system that ensured that it was ruled by majority of the white population. That's the whole point of it. The whole point of it was just for that. And Mandela helped end this, and not only end it, but changed it to a democratic type of government such as America. So it was similar. South Africa was dealing with similar things that we were dealing with when it came to segregation with races, except for in America, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure at the time, was it at the time actually? They were dealing pretty much the same thing. I wonder if our system is also called apartheid. Something I wish I had to research. But he done this, though, by traveling the country with a campaign for it. So he was going to the country, making speeches, speaking to people, getting them to demolish this system of apartheid and create a new democratic system. To me, this was similar to MLK because he had nonviolent protests that was fighting the apartheid system. It's not like he was going around with guns blazing, trying to shoot people, telling them, listen, this system is ending today. He was not doing that. He was actually going out there. He was doing nonviolent protests. He was doing speeches, speaking to people, trying to bring people together. After a while, though, his speeches, just like MLK, started to attract the attention of the authorities. So the authorities of South Africa were also following this apartheid system, and it started to attract them because he was getting too known. There's a point sometimes where you may be getting too famous, especially of us of color. Sometimes we may be getting too famous. So it will start to raise red flags for the authorities that feel like they can't control us. So they went as far as to prison Mandela for treason. So they said that, listen, you're not following the apartheid system. You're not actually trying to conspire against the government or anything, but because you're going against our system and the way we do things, we're going to lock you up for treason. And again, this was due to the system, the protests actually gaining momentum against what I see as a failed system. So because this failed system was going on, because they was gaining momentum, they decided, listen, what we're going to do now is we're going to arrest you for this. And this just made me think of something. Mandela was prepared to die for his freedom. He was prepared to be in prison for his freedom. He was prepared to do anything that it took for him to keep his freedom. But you are not even prepared to reach out to 100 people a day. You're not even prepared to go do 100 push-ups a day. You're not prepared to do anything to even reach your goals. But this guy was able to do this for the freedom of his people. But you're not even able to do what it takes to reach your personal goals. Take what you can learn from Nelson Mandela, this black leader, changing something no matter what the odds were against him and making it happen. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button, subscribe for more content on leadership. And if you're listening to this on any type of podcast platform, leave that 5-star review. I want you guys to keep killing the day. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.